Oh, it's 5:41 a.m. on the first intermediate day of Sukkot 2025, 5786, Wednesday, October 7th, 2025. Exactly 2 years since this war started. War in Gaza. Been up since just before 4 a.m. Very strong coffee because I could barely see what I was doing in the dark. I didn't want to turn on a light and might cough up. Had 2 or 3 cigarettes, played some poker, pee, poop, might have had another cigarette, showered, lukewarm water. I guess the dude Shemesh hadn't fully heated up. Dressed, and now heading to the kotel. Thinking I'm going to stop at the cigarette store for another pack of cigarettes and a pack of mints, and hopefully get to the kotel before sunrise and do something like Nate's. I mean, in order to actually do Nate's, you have to be there for the exact moment of sunrise for Shimon Esrei. And, well, I don't think I'll be that fast. My stomach's churning. And I got 3 things on my agenda for today, aside from, actually feeding myself. Seems like a pointless activity because food seems to just goes right through me. But I still need to do it. So the other 3 activities are, collecting tzedakah, because I got to pay my rent and I don't have a career, and I don't have any jobs lined up. And visiting Rabbi Peretz, who broke his hip again. And in the evening, hanging out with Lauren. There's some sort of music festival happening on Derek Beit Lechem. Ricky's going to be singing. I don't really care about that, but the opportunity to spend time with Lauren. I don't get it. I really don't get what my attraction is with her. I mean, maybe it's just that it's just so hard for us to consummate our whatever the hell it is. Because, she hates the smoking. She doesn't want to touch me. But I guess I'm so used to women not wanting to touch me. So, any touch is appreciated. I don't know. I think I'm just nuts. This has got to be the only explanation. Nothing else seems to make any sense. She's like, you're not going to talk about with anybody else what's going on with us. I'm like, yeah, my psychologist. Well, what the hell else is there for me to talk about on my vlogs? That's the only thing that matters to me right now, and frankly, for like the last decade or more, is finding a wife. If I had that down pat, and I had a career, and I had my own home, well, I guess I could talk about my career, or I could talk about my hobbies, my interests. But I don't have a career, I don't have my own home, and my hobbies are basically, at this point, praying and studying and occasionally going out to eat or soup kitchens. Playing poker. Not that interesting. I don't even play for money. My cigarette went out. That happens when you're busy talking. See, it's dark out still. Yeah. It's a little chilly out this morning and winter's on the way. I am not ready for winter. Oh, I think it's going to turn green in a second. Oh, there we go. Thankfully it's not freezing out, but it's definitely coming soon. Not technically freezing, but still cold enough. You gotta remember that in the winter, do not shower before 6 a.m. because there ain't gonna be any hot water. That dude Shemesh definitely needs, a couple hours to warm up the hot water, cold water, whatever. Go walk by the cigarette store. I don't know if they were open overnight or not. If they were, get another pack and some mints. Although technically I can get them on the way back, but still, prefer to have them on me if I can. Even though I still have one pack of yellows on me and a few blues, and I have another pack of blues in my knapsack. I'm not taking my knapsack because here in Israel, it's almost universal that nobody puts on tefillin. So if I don't need my tefillin, what do I need the rest of my stuff in my bag? It's going to be weird going 7-8 days without tefillin on purpose. Once in a while, you skip because you're depressed or exhausted or whatever, preoccupied. But to skip on purpose, that's like so weird for me. And back in Toronto, the only time I skip is actual holidays or Shabbat. The intermediate days, the hamoed days, I don't skip. But in Israel, it's almost a universal custom. I mean, you might find the odd person that does put on tefillin, but it's typically, even the Mishnah Berurah, as far as I know, says in Israel the custom is not to put on tefillin. It doesn't matter who you are. Versus outside Israel, you can have an argument with the Chassidim, with the Litvaks, the Sfardis, lots of, 5-way mahlokas. I'm exhausted. Well, I would like to say I napped yesterday, but I didn't. Basically, like a minute after I laid down, Koch came by to ask if I was ready to go do some hangout. Hung out with a couple and their 3 kids and the mother-in-law. It was actually very nice. Had some whiskey, had some chol, had some snacks, some pistachios, some salted peanuts, some candies, some whiskey. Had a mini cigarillo. Then hung out with Lauren for like 10 minutes. So then Mincha, hung out with her between Mincha and Mariv. And then hung out with her for a little bit afterwards. It was very, very nice. It was like, I don't know, it was just really, really nice. And the cigarette store is open. Yay. Okay. David po? Okay. Camel Tov. And? Okay. Apparently no camel yellows right now. So, this is in 2 hours. I guess when I come back from the kotel. Assuming I'll be doing that, because who knows? I'm freaking exhausted, and there might be some coffee and pastries at the kotel, and there's a big sukkah there. I would know, because my first year I was homeless, and where else do you hang out other than to sleep? In the sukkah. Although there is a concept of sleeping in the sukkah, but I don't think that applies in a public sukkah, unless it's like some private sukkah that they allow the public into, and kind of have arrangements for people to sleep in. But the kotel sukkah is for people to have meals and hang out, but not really for sleeping. Although I'm sure overnight people sleep at the tables. Maybe even set up some chairs. But I doubt they let them spread out. Well, when I get there, I'll see. It's still early enough that homeless people might be hanging out, sleeping there. Oh, there's nothing like going to the kotel at, what time is it? 9 to 6. Wearing my Seiko, which I haven't worn in a long time. And I bought it like 6 years ago at Elon Pearl. I used to walk by it. I was living on Shmuel and Agid for like a month. Friends back home had rented a room for me there. Yeah, so every day on my way to the old city, I'd pass by Elon Pearl watches and I'd see the Seiko in the window, and I was like, I gotta have that. And eventually I got it for a shana, 1,100 shekel. And I bought 2 different bands afterwards. Came with a stainless steel mesh band, and I found it to be too flashy, so I bought a stainless steel in black mesh band. And then a little while later, I bought a silicone band on Amazon, and that's what's on it now. Although technically, if I'd have known about AliExpress back then, maybe I would have gotten one on AliExpress, because it's just a black band. plain black. AliExpress definitely has the kind of silicone bands I like. It's the brown one that I really care about getting, one from Amazon versus AliExpress. the Amazon brown is like a much darker brown versus the one on AliExpress looks more like chocolate or poop. Yeah. I like beers in the middle of the night or early morning. Oh, it's Arak. That's lovely. I mean, I had whiskey in the afternoon yesterday. Hooks me up. Technically, yesterday was a Tuesday afternoon, so I mean, it's pretty unusual for me to be drinking whiskey on a Tuesday afternoon, but considering it was Chag, and the only obligation I really have other than myself is paying rent. So, chilly. Last night after Chag, I went to Ben Yehuda. I got myself a mini burger, fries, and a Sprite over at New Delhi. Whole, 35 shekel was it? Yeah. Burger wasn't exactly satisfying. And the fries weren't that great. I didn't get any salt, and I didn't want to use the ketchup. But 35 shekel got my money's worth, and I wasn't starving. Technically, I could have gone without it, but I felt I needed some sort of nutrition going through my system. Tomorrow night, or tonight rather, kind of feels like it'll be tomorrow night because I feel like I'm going to sleep again, but with Lauren being sort of vegan, I don't know what I'll be eating for supper tonight. Chabad will probably be open like most of the day today. Takamoni will be serving breakfast at some point and supper at some point. Heck, they might even do a lunch. Lunch yesterday kind of sucked. We're slow in getting out the soup, and I assume slow in getting out the meat. So I was basically there for the kiddush, the bread, fish, and salads. Didn't stick around for the soup. Didn't stick around for the meat. But after getting kind of drunk at the hangout and snacks and candies and having fun with the kids, went over to where I'd done this shidduch. I'd been to the shidduch event a few weeks earlier and had some seltzer and some corned beef. So I guess I got some other nutrition going on, but considering how much I poop, it's like, what was the point? I'm like, maybe Lauren's diet is the way to go, because I mean, she's definitely not as skinny as me, you know? But then again, Kotel's not as skinny as me either, and he basically swears by a primarily meat diet. But then again, maybe neither of them is as active as I am. You know, maybe because of the coffees and the cigarettes, I'm constantly, full of hot air and caffeine. So I'm constantly on the move, versus them, maybe they're more settled. My brain's not settled. I'm all over the frickin' place. It's like, how do I get a career? How do I get a wife? How do I get my home? And they're like, situation is what the situation is. I don't know. Maybe if my parents hadn't thrown me out of the house so many frickin' times and told me they loved me, maybe I'd be more settled. But then again, if that was the situation, I doubt I'd be going to the kotel for darn near 6 a.m. Heading towards the old city. Getting close to City Hall. There's like nobody around. Yeah, I had a pretty strong coffee today. Yesterday I had 3 coffees. I had an instant coffee at home, an instant coffee when I got the shul around 9:45, and then like half an hour later or an hour later, had a kind of an Americano, kind of a Turkish coffee. Yeah. I was amazed showing up at 9:45 at the shul, and they weren't even at Baruch yet. I thought for sure they'd be by. In fact, I don't even think they were at Shulchan Ad. I thought for sure by like 9:30 they'd be choking up, but I guess they were waiting for a minion, waiting for a minion. And it took till like close to 9:45 for them to get a minion. I woke up late yesterday. I was exhausted, even though I was in bed like 11:30, 11:45. I didn't watch any TV, so I fell asleep pretty early. Almost doesn't matter what time I get to bed, because unless it's like Shabbat or holiday where I don't turn on my phone and don't watch a video, it usually takes me hours to fall asleep. Like last night, I think I was in bed like around 10:30. I think I fell asleep a little after midnight. Versus on a usual night, I could be in bed at 9 p.m. And if I start watching TV or a movie, I could get to 4 a.m. You know, I mean, sometimes I'll fall asleep at 2 and wake up at 6, but sometimes I'll fall asleep at 4 and I'll wake up till 9 or 10. You know, if I'm really lucky, I'll fall asleep at 11 and wake up, at 5 or 6. But that's very rare. Seems they've gotten rid of the barricades around the old city. I guess Lichos are done. Do you want to bet the rabbis will still be collecting stock at the kotel? Oh, joy. Yeah, almost by the old city. Green lights. Can walk. Oh, joy. Exhaustion. Basically go to sleep right now. Wonder if Yecheskel's doing his Daf Yomi in the Ramban. Go there, take off my shoes, and take a nap on the back benches. And I've done that so many times, especially my first winter. I spend the night in the kotel, can't sleep. 5 o'clock, leave the kotel. 5:30, enter the Ramban. Take a nap on the back benches for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, till all the noise from Chakras gets overbearing. I don't know if they have minyanim there the whole year, but definitely during Ben Azmanim there's a relatively large crowd. It's kind of a shtibel, kind of not. It's hard to say exactly. Oh, here comes some, I'd say Americans. It's hard to say. Their haircuts aren't so clear. Only one of them's wearing a hat. But 2 of them have, all 5 of the guys have lulavs. Yep. Kind of begs my maleness. Here I am at darn near 43 and I still don't have my own lulav. Have I ever owned my own lulav? I'm not sure. I really want to wait until I have my own home and a wife. I know that's not the mitzvah. The mitzvah is, once you're bar mitzvah, you got to get your own lulav and esrog. It's like, in my poverty-stricken situation, I just feel like, what's the point? But I know other guys that do otherwise. Like, he's definitely not wealthy and he bought one. I don't know. I really don't know. Beyond my purview, knowing what God actually wants. Well, I guess he stated explicitly in the Torah what he wants. It's just the emotions get in the way. Psychological issues get in the way. Cigarettes and coffees get in the way. The bad sleeping habits get in the way. The bad moods get in the way. If I had a good woman who pushed me towards mitzvahs and was with me whenever it was permissible, I might be able to. I don't have a woman under the best of circumstances, let alone in my shitty situation. Literally and figuratively, shitty situation. A little bit of a hangnail going on my thumb. Sun's coming up. Bet you I got like 5-10 minutes before it's actually Nate's. I think I'm hearing English. Oh look, there's even a woman who's got a wolf. Yep, I'm hardly man enough. Welcome to real life. Oh, jeez. Well, at least I got a shower this morning. That's a good thing. Change of underwear. Clothes are relatively clean. It's not freezing out. How many times in my life have been up like this hour to go to showers and pray to God, even if I just go through the motions? I don't know. In the afterlife, is there going to be any value to this? I don't know. Seems illegal. Rent money lying around, but I don't know. I don't know. No illegal lying around. Maybe I'll go back after showers and hand it to God. A little afraid to be without it. It's like, what if I need that money? It's 3,000 shekels. You know? 3,000 shekels can go a relatively long way in my situation. All these people going to the kotel. Oh, I forget, the Americans are still in Chod. It's the Israelis that aren't. Fascinating. Oh, I'm so exhausted. Lots of hamoed. I probably shouldn't be using my phone, but I'm not such a good Jew. I think that's why Machos put me with the non-Jews Friday night. The fact I actually late. The kotel. I wonder if I'll see how that ends. Probably. I think usually that one's Nate's. Oh, yet another sign of a wife. Really ain't looking at other people's lives. Wanting them and having no kosher means of dealing with the desires. I shouldn't be looking at other people's lives. It's hard not to when I don't have any wife, let alone one that covers all of my basic needs. It's probably unfair of me to put all my issues on a wife for not having one. It's just how I see it. For better or for worse. I'm turning the Arab show. And I am not alone. Oh wow. So many people. Okay, I've seen more. It's the first time there's more. I guarantee this afternoon. Maybe even this morning, there'll be more. I'm gonna have to get a cup to be able to collect. Okay, I think I'm gonna end this recording here. About 10-15 minutes away from the kotel. With the crowds heading to the kotel.